Last week, actually, I had someone reach out to me on LinkedIn. He went to the same business school and he graduated just 2 months ago. And he asked me for tips on finding his next job. And my number one piece of advice was stop applying for jobs.
Yeah. You don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Don't be average. If the average person is looking for jobs on LinkedIn, then you can tell that's not the right idea. Another thing that helped me tremendously is that I had a career portfolio. And I graduated from San Jose State. I did graduate from the Honors Academy, but my first job out of college was at Morgan Stanley on Sand Hill Road. And people were like, how'd you get that job if you're competing against the guys from Stanford, Harvard, all these Ivy League colleges? And I don't really know the answer, to be fully transparent, but I think a lot of it has to do with I had a career portfolio and all these guys were interviewing with a resume, and I'm sure they answered the questions well and they prepared for them. But when you have a career portfolio, which is basically just like a leather bound binder with some plastic sleeves in it, and you just put in a bunch of stuff that you've done throughout your life. So I had some of the stuff did in hockey. I had some of the stuff I did in track and field when I was in high school. I had my business and a bunch of different pictures of me operating the business. I had an intern with the FBI. I showed a bunch of different certificates that I had either earned or won. And it wasn't to just go in there and be like, oh, look at all this great stuff that I've accomplished. In fact, most people that interviewed me only got to see maybe a few pages of the career portfolio. But what it's used for is when they ask you a generic question like, when have you worked with a team and there was a conflict? How did you resolve it? Everyone just jumps into their memorized answer, right? But if you have a career portfolio, you can actually show an example of a time that you worked with a team and how you resolved the conflict, and you can show them pictures. And showing them pictures of your career portfolio it just says that you're not BSing the answer. Where even if you're telling the truth and it's a rehearsed answer, if you're the interviewer, how do you know if the person's telling you the truth or not? You just met them for 2 minutes. Yeah. So I think it was the career portfolios how I was able to outcompete all these other Ivy League students that were competing for the same job.